Hello and welcome back. This is part 4 of the Washington books as a part of the broader category of my road trip book hauls. This one might be the last one for a while, but who knows, okay? I tried to organize some of the last few videos into categories based on the books I had at that time, and this one is the novels category. So first up we've got Prevost Prevost is the author, Antoine Prevost, Irish priest and author. I don't know when he's from. I think kind of mid 18th century. He wrote around the time of Louis XV. So yes, 1730s-ish. Yeah, this book, Manon Lecout, is about it's a love story between a nobleman and a common lady, and they live together before marriage, which obviously big no-no, and this kind of leads them down a path of degeneracy, gambling, fraud, and eventually the nobleman's expulsion from Europe to the US. And yeah, it was actually banned 2 years after it was published, so 1731 published, banned 1733 by the French government, which only, of course, served to increase its popularity. And there was like unsanctioned reprints, and people were like buying it up, and yeah, so kind of a interesting love story there. And I guess the reason it was banned, I should mention that, is because of the morally bad things that happen in the book, right? So yeah, kind of cool there. Next up we've got, sorry, I think I said Prevost was Irish. I don't think he was. Prevost is French. Sorry, I should go back and edit that. But yeah, Prevost, French, definitely. Antoine Prevost is like the most French name ever. The reason I messed that up is because our next author here, Sheridan Lefanu, he's Irish. Okay, so I misspoke. You probably already typed in the comments. You paused the video and were typing an angry comment, and you probably hit send already. So now you look pretty silly, don't you? Because I corrected my mistake. Anyways, yes, Irish author and priest Sheridan Lefanu wrote In a Glass Darkly. Now I'm not sure if Sheridan was a priest, and I just said that, so now I'm really confused. That one deserves an angry comment, so you can go ahead and make that now. Anyways, this is a collection of ghost stories. I don't know if I have much more to say about it, other than it sounds pretty scary. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it for now. Next up we have some very interesting fiction from Ursula K Le Guin, and that is Always Coming Home. So I recently read Le Guin's Earthsea Trilogy, which I quite liked. It's in sort of the same vein as Lord of the Rings. Of course, now Tolkien did way more world building than she did. Tolkien made whole languages and stuff like that. But the world building was pretty extensive, I would say, in the Earthsea Trilogy. That was one of its strengths, is that it was very absorbing in that way. Now, my critique of the Earthsea Trilogy was that she could have done so much more with it. Like, the books are so short, she could have made each book like 3 times, 4 times longer, and it still would have been engaging. She kind of rushes through the trilogy. Now, this, I think, is like the opposite, okay? This doesn't really have a plot. This is her imagining that she is an ethnologist and kind of anthropologist in the far future. Civilization has collapsed. It's like a very far distant sci-fi. Oh, I just killed a fly with the book. So she imagines this race of people living in the far future. They're the Kesh people. They're living in like middle of California. And yeah, like I said, civilization has collapsed by then. And this book is just like a collection of her like fake anthropology notes. So there's like poems, biographies, songs, maps, and different like she captures these people's myths, and it's pure world building. There's like no plot, but hey, that's pretty interesting as well. So yeah, looking forward to digging into this eventually. So yeah, a very imaginative mind for sure with Le Guin. Next up, I'm not really going to say much about it. We've talked about him before. Marcel Proust. I'm trying to collect all the In Search of Lost Time books. Okay, there's 7 of them. This is number 6 of 7, and that is The Sweet Cheat Gone. So yeah, got that. $2. Next up, we have a classic that I hadn't really heard of. It's very recent, actually. I think 1972. Recent by my standards. And that's Watership Down by Richard Adams. Okay, it's his first book. It's about these anthropomorphic rabbits. Anthropomorphic in the sense that they can talk. But these rabbits who are threatened where they're living, and so they have to search for a new home, and they run into all sorts of problems because they're prey animals, of course. So they're kind of trying to survive and find a new home. Apparently, he came up with the story while like driving his daughters on a road trip. He was just like telling them a story, and his daughters were like, "Oh, it's so good, make it into a book." And he wasn't an author, so he made it into a book, and his manuscript was rejected by a few publishers, and eventually someone published it, and then it just became crazy famous. And there's been movies on it and stuff too. So yeah, Watership Down, kind of a cool book. And it also, the title seems like Watership Down. It sounds like Moby Dick, like there's a ship that's sinking, but apparently Watership Down is just like the area that they settle in, the rabbits. So yeah, anyways, it's kind of misleading as a title. Next up, okay, we have a cult classic, and I know some people really like this book, so I don't want to butcher it, and that is The Confederacy of Dunces, A Confederacy of Dunces. Got this one for $3, good deal. Published 1980, so 11 years posthumous, actually, after the death, rest in peace, of John Kennedy Toole. Won the Pulitzer Prize. Not sure if it was for this or for what it was for, but he was an American author. And this is kind of like a dark comedy book. Now, the main character, his name is Ignatius Riley or something, Ignatius J. Riley. And he's like this scholar guy, but he's kind of lazy. He's 30 years old, lives with his mom, and kind of bumbling, I would assume, because he can't find employment. And that's kind of the book, as he goes around New Orleans looking to get a job. But he runs into all sorts of issues and funny adventures, and I think it's like a comedy, basically. But yeah, kind of looking forward to reading this, and it sounds very entertaining. Next up, we have 2 trilogies, actually. The first trilogy, our author is born 1882, I believe, and that is the Norwegian Sigrid Unset. And this is her trilogy, Kristin Lavransdatter. I'm not Norwegian, so hard to pronounce for me. I'll show them each in turn. So first up, we have The Wreath, okay? And they don't match, unfortunately. I have different editions. Then we have number 2, The Wife. And then we have number 3, The Cross. There it is there. Now, she won the Nobel Prize in Literature for this series, and it follows the life from birth to death of a Norwegian girl, or lady, first girl, then lady, in the Middle Ages, I believe. And it kind of deals with like morally ambiguous situations, like female sexuality, and just like life in general. And because it follows her from life, or from birth to death, it kind of reminds me of the premise of like 100 Years of Solitude or like East of Eden, where you have this like generational or like long period of time that's covered. And I liked both of those books, 100 Years of Solitude, which I just finished reading, and East of Eden, 5 stars, one of my favorites. So I am tempted to dig into this pretty soon, even though it's like pretty long. But yeah, sounds super good, so looking forward to that. And then the next trilogy we have here is I'm forgetting where he was born. He's American, but I'm not sure where he was born. I forget. Anyways, that's John Dos Passos and his trilogy USA. Now this book was rebound, so somebody wrote with like pen on the spine. But I think originally it was like a nice book. This is like Random House, I think. Modern Library. The trilogy is 42nd Parallel, 1919, and The Big Money. Now this is considered constantly rated one of the top 100 American novels or trilogies or whatever of all time, especially 20th century, I guess. When was it published? Oh man, I think like early mid 20th century. Now what happens in this trilogy is it's kind of like an experimental genre. Passos kind of combines a bunch of different styles, like narrative, short biographies of different people, newspaper clippings, song lyrics. What else? Like, I don't know, is there any illustrations in here? I'm not sure. But he kind of just combines a bunch of different, like, a bunch of different styles to paint like a portrait of the first 3 decades of the 20th century in America. So I don't really know too much about it beyond that, other than it's like pretty thick. Of course, there's being 3 books in here. Of course, it's thick. How many pages are we on this one? That can't be right. It only says there's like 500 pages, 550. Oh, maybe the paper is just thick. Who knows? But yeah, this one is sort of a well-known American classic. But I'm not sure when I'll get to it because it is pretty thick. But yeah, those are some of the novels I bought in Washington. like I said, not too sure if I'll have a part 5 for the Washington books. I think that's basically it for the trip. So yeah, I don't know. That was a pretty good trip. Definitely spent a fair amount of money, but it was worth it. And I'm now over 1,000 books, so officially a library. I think that's right? If you have over 1,000 books, you own a library. But yeah, thank you for tuning in for the trip, and who knows what I'll do next. More book hauls, more reviews for sure. I'm not sure if my wallet can handle more hauls, but actually it's not so much the wallet, it's more the shelves. I'm running out of space to store all these books. I am not a homeowner yet, so there's another fly, killed him. So yeah, I have to buy, actually, I guess they don't talk about that, right? Buying the books is one expense, but then you have to buy shelves, and then you have to buy a house to fit the shelves in. So I guess that's the real expense of owning a library, is having to be a homeowner. I guess I could rent like one of those like storage units, but I don't like renting stuff because your money just goes nowhere. It disappears. Anyways, now I'm just yapping. So yeah, thanks again. And hey, keep your ears tuned, your eyes open, and your senses ready. I don't know what that was, but I might be starting a book club soon, which would be open to you guys. Because I have run a book club the past like 2.5 years, but it's been only in person for friends. But hey, you guys are my friends, kind of. Or we could be friends if you join the book club. So I think I'll probably do that through the newsletter. So yeah, please subscribe to the newsletter. Links in the description. And yeah. See ya.